in the 10 years we've been doing this show, a lot of people have passed away, and I've discussed it with you on the air. In fact, many of them, from my cat to my father and my mother, to our friend Michael Hutchison, who was on the program fairly frequently, and just a profound mystic, and my mentor Gottfried Mueller, who started the International Salem programs, who asked us to all have a party when he passed away. He said I'm going into the light. You have a good time and celebrate my life and celebrate the fact that I'm in a really good place now. So, with that, from that place, I just want to note that Fred Phelps, the guy who started the Westboro Baptist Church, and who used to show up at military funerals and everything else with these signs that said, "God hates fags." And years ago, when he was really in his heyday, we actually launched a website titled GodHatesFigs.org and .com. In fact, I think I just let it roll back into the public domain a couple of weeks ago, in large part because, it's passé now. And my point was that there's 4 or 5 different places in the New Testament and a couple of dozen in the Old Testament where God smites fig trees, or where Jesus smites a fig tree. There's no place that I can find in the Bible where God smites anybody who's gay. So I was operating on the assumption that Fred Phelps was simply doing his life's work based on a typographic error. But, funny or not, it's an interesting, thought-provoking moment. And Nate Phelps is with us. He is the son, or a son, of Fred Phelps. He's in his own right. He's a speaker and author on religion and child abuse, an advocate for LGBT causes. He is the estranged son of the Westboro Baptist Church's founder, Pastor Fred Phelps. His website, by the way, is Nate Phelps, NATEPHELPS.com. And it's a fascinating website. I encourage you to check it out. Nate, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Tom.
Thanks for joining us. First of all, I want to offer my condolences on the passing of your father. Even though you were estranged, it still must be a difficult thing for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, sir.
I know I don't know if I can compare it to how I felt when my dad died or not, but your thoughts on your father's life and death.
On his life?
Yeah.
I think that I can boil it down to one sentence. I think it was a terrible waste. I think he had the mind. He had the ability to be significantly valuable to society, to his children, to the community. And he chose a direction that ended up being very destructive.
Any idea why?
Well, it's interesting because you go back and look at his youth, and he actually had an appointment to West Point that he was supposed to enter when he turned 18. He graduated from high school when he was 17, and in that summer and fall before his 18th birthday, he went to a revival meeting at the Methodist church that his family was a member of. Mm-hmm. And he says he had a calling, and he got caught up he went to Bob Jones University and got caught up in that whole Calvinist predestination ideology, and the rest is history, as they say.
Yeah. There's been some interesting research over the years into homophobia, and this study has been replicated so many times that it's almost a cliche. But if you hook men, and the studies are a little more ambiguous on women, but women tend not to be outspoken homophobes as much as men. If you hook men up to a device that measures arousal, sexual arousal, physically measures it, and show them gay porn, straight men are not aroused by it. Gay men are aroused by it. But interestingly, there's apparently a fairly small category, maybe 1 or 2% of the population, who are actually and genuinely bisexual. They're aroused by both straight porn and by gay porn. And my experience has been that a lot of the men who have come on this program over the years, and I've had this conversation with several of them, and a couple of them have basically copped to it. I say, how can you say that homosexuality is a choice unless for you it would be a choice? And if for you it would be a choice, then you're probably bisexual. And James Cameron, for example, I had that conversation with, and he all but said so. I don't want to put words in his mouth. And I'm wondering if, and for somebody growing up in the 40s and 50s and 60s, when not only being gay was, a social shame, but it was also a crime in most parts of this country. You can see where somebody, if they felt those tendencies or those attractions, might just go nuts trying to fight it off. It's probably a horrible day to ask you to psychoanalyze your father, but not just him, but the entire movement. I'm curious your thoughts on all that.
Yeah, and I'm torn on that, Tom, because I've had that question asked before. One of the things I committed to when I started talking about what it was like growing up there and the realities of that environment was that I was going to try to be as honest as I could and not draw conclusions where there wasn't evidence. And that's where I'm stuck on this issue. I, like you, have seen a lot of people, a lot of outspoken homophobes who ultimately acknowledge their homosexual tendencies, or that they're flat out homosexual.
Right.
I just don't have any evidence for it.
Yeah.
My father was in the midst of all the violence and the ugliness of growing up there. There wasn't anything there that suggested or specifically pointed to that tendency. He just has always had this attitude in his preaching that it was that somehow homosexuality was a special kind of sin,
right,
because of his reading of some passage in Romans.
Mm-hmm. So we have just a minute or so left. We're talking with Fred Phelps' dad, or son, Nate Phelps, and Fred Phelps has passed away. Any thoughts on your father's passing in this last minute, Nate?
Well, a lot of folks have contacted me and offered their condolences, but I went through this. I left on the night of my 18th birthday, and haven't seen my father in 35 years. I went through a deliberate process about 10 years after I left of mourning the loss of my family, because in fact I had lost them because of their strategy of ostracizing people who leave the church. So I have over the years believed that my reaction was going to be virtually non-existent, that I've already experienced this, right? I'm a little surprised that there is some emotion there.
Yeah.
But in the end, my thoughts go to this whole issue. I mean, even though my father's passed, his ideas haven't passed, and we still have that struggle to go through to finally find some equality for the gay community in the United States. So
yeah,
that's what my focus is right now.
Okay, Nate Phelps, his website, Nate, N-A-T-E Phelps, PHELPS.com. Nate, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate it.
Very thoughtful conversation. Thank you.